Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gold Jacket, Green Jacket podcast. We're here for episode number 67. My name is Christian Dragonetti, and I'm joined, as always, by my good friend and Australian PGA professional, Mr. Joel Mitchell. Jolly, mate, how are you?
Fantabulous.
Yeah?
As always.
Good.
As always, being in this room, and it's all I got for you.
That's it. I'm here, and that's it.
You know, to completely be off topic, just for 10 seconds, you know what I've noticed about our logo? That gold jacket is in green and green jacket is in gold.
Yeah.
I actually did not.
Do you want me to blow your mind?
No.
That was intentional.
Why?
That's just my cousin designed our logo.
Oh.
Credit to him. And
It's the first time I've noticed that.
And he's like, I'm thinking about doing this. And I'm like, go for it. Like, I have zero artistic creativity whatsoever.
You have another e-stick, but I've that's the first time I've ever noticed that. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Let's get back on track already.
Your head, I swear to God, sometimes. Anyway, how's things?
Good. Good.
You're in a good space?
Yeah, we're getting there. There's lots of plans coming up.
Yeah.
And I've actually just had a PGA playing induction yesterday.
Yep.
It was basically just a meeting of the PGA reps and
It was like a big
coordinators.
orientation day for
much.
tour events.
Pretty much. It's just everyone that went through and got a category or something.
Uni students will know very much about what the first week at uni is like.
Exactly.
For each semester, and it fucking sucks.
It's like a really short seminar. It went for just under an hour, which was perfect. So it was sweet. It was like a short seminar. And it was on the back of Q School and the upcoming events, upcoming season, what each category means, what it can get you, how you can improve it and stuff like that. So it was probably 80% of it I was already kind of knew it and made aware of, and then the other 20% was like what it actually means.
Okay.
So it was actually really good. So now I know what I need to do leading up to the season and beyond.
No, cool.
To either improve a category, play more events, and blah blah blah, go from there. So
Very good. Very good.
Not too bad at all.
No,
Yeah.
very good.
Progression.
Progression is the word. It always is, mate. We had some recent rounds
We did.
today.
We did. Of the time recording, yes.
At the time of recording, it's Wednesday, the 21st.
Wednesday.
Now, I'll just deviate slightly off topic for a quick second. No bonus episode for the PGA
No,
Championship.
we're doing a 20% bonus.
And we are gonna cover the PGA in a little bit more length than what we would in a normal episode, aside from a bonus, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just with timings and stuff, you've been away. We'll get into that a little bit later. And it didn't really make much sense. And today being Wednesday is the first time I've seen you since you've been back from your travels and whatnot. By the time we get a bonus episode out tomorrow and then the episode drops on Friday, it was just forget it. We'll have a quick chat about it in today's episode.
Yeah,
So
we'll just do that. So
we'll
it's like
cover that
it's like a 50-50 of a normal episode, and we'll just cover
a little bit.
Like instead of covering it like the result for 5 minutes, it's just a bit more of length.
Because there is some talking points, and we do want to get into it a little bit. So we will get into that shortly. But yeah, apologies if you're looking forward to a bonus episode, ladies and gents. Hopefully we can make up for it today.
That's it.
But recent rounds, we both played today at Heidelberg. I managed to get you out, which was good. A lot of empty spots for a Wednesday,
Which is unusual because it was such a nice day.
It became a nice day.
Was possibly the coldest I've ever been because we played with Toby.
Walker.
And we didn't stop complaining for 3 holes at least.
Toby shows up in shorts.
Yeah, that was
and it was literally -1 degrees out on the driving range this morning.
By the 12th hole, it was the right idea. But
he was 100%. But like I had my long skins under my pants, and I was I was toasty from the get go.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I was hot by the end of it either. So like I think I played it pretty safe with the weather, but Tobes was in dire straits.
Yeah, he was in all sorts early.
But par today at Heidelberg, I played off 5 and shot +2.
It's good.
You played off +5 and had +1, I think.
Yeah, it was weird though. So it's that equals 6 under, but it wasn't. It was 5.
Okay.
Because I bogeyed a hole that I have to give a shot back. So it's like a double minus.
It's a double minus. Which,
so I bogeyed 6.
It would have been the equivalent of 36 points.
I had to hold that shot from just off the edge of the green. I had to hold that for a half.
Yeah.
So even making pars still a minus. So
yeah, fair enough.
It thinks it wasn't 6. It was 5, which I'm still quite pleased with because usually, like you actually said earlier, going like me coming to Heidelberg is just like it's like a day off sort of thing. I don't have to I'm not going to say I don't try, but it's like just a leisure. I go out there. I'm with you.
We're having fun.
For me, it just the score doesn't matter.
It is the most social of competition hits you can have.
It couldn't be any more social of whether I shoot 90 or 60.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Because we're so used to playing at that joint after hours.
And
throwing in scores and the My Score app just adds that little bit of like, oh, well, okay. I guess we're trying today.
I guess I'll try, right? And the first few shots I hit, I'm like, oh my God, I almost missed it.
Yeah.
And then, the first sort of 5 holes, I sort of hit a couple golf shots that sort of, I'm like, okay, I can work off this. Okay, no, I'll put the head down a little bit. And end up shooting 67 or whatever it was. So
that's it.
That's
it.
Take that.
Well, I had what would have been 3 over.
Yeah.
I started pretty poorly, to be honest. We teed off on 10 and I started slow. I didn't start poorly, I started slow.
Started frustrated too.
Yeah,
I haven't seen you get like
it was just, I don't know. Being with you is one thing. Playing golf with you is one thing. Playing golf with Toby is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because as good as you are, and don't take this the wrong way,
No.
I think he's just a little bit ahead of you.
He absolutely. Well, obviously,
he's progressed a little bit further in his career.
Not only does he hit it significantly further than not only me, but everyone else he plays with.
And I think that's probably the more intimidating factor. That when he rattles off numbers of club head speed and ball speed and stuff, I'm like, because you're ahead of me in terms of ball speed and all that kind of stuff. But it's not by.
No. It's not by this. It's only...
And on holes, you might outdrive me by at most 15 meters.
That's not
Toby's 40 past.
Yeah, he's 40, yeah.
40. And and you just see it look so effortless. And then all of a sudden the ball's in another suburb and you're like, what the fuck? Right? But I had so much fun. He texted me last night because he booked himself in and he's like, I'm playing with you boys tomorrow. You better not fucking pull out. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're in.
We're good.
And considering we teed off at 8:15 in the morning, I was like, there's no way Toby shows up tomorrow. Like, I know him that well. Professional. And he's like, he's walked onto the range going, what the fuck is this? Why is it so cold?
He's standing at the top of the car park with his bag, shivering, going, this sucks. After he's just been over in China in 36 degrees.
Correct.
He's like, this sucks.
But he gave me this. He gave me this little swing tip on 3.
It was 2
or 3.
2. Oh, 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
And it just changed. You said it. You're like, I can just see your mind just going poof, like just boom, explosion. And I was like, yeah, because
it was tiny.
To be completely honest, you have been coaching me for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's almost not the complete opposite to what you've been telling me, but it's just a whole nother thought process.
It's just a different way to look at things.
Yeah. So I've hit fades for the longest time, and you've kind of worked with that in a sense.
What I try to do is complement that.
Complement it, right?
And it worked.
Yeah. And Toby turns around today and goes, try this, right? And it was, right, aim straighter, put the ball a little scooch further back in your stance, try and hit a draw. And I'm like,
it goes against your whole...
And I'm like, why? I'm like, I'm going to just put it further out there because I'm going to get stuck. He's like, trust me. Yeah. And the one thing he said that I can sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? I can,
repeat, resonate.
Yeah, resonate. That's the one. The one thing he said that I can resonate with the most is he said, show your back to the target for longer to try and hit a draw. Like your left shoulder, show the back of your left shoulder. Yeah. And I'm like, I can do that. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I've hit this ball and it's just straight at the flag and just out of the fucking screws. Yeah. Right? And he goes,
the one on two you hit was like, whoa, like the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, I hit my first shot and it wasn't that great. And he's like, here, try this. Just hit another pill for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Did that and all of a sudden it was
straight up.
Straight at it.
And I went further.
And he's like, there's that distance you're missing. And I was like, okay. And then again on 3 tee box, he's like, do the same thing with driver.
Okay. Bang. And you pumped it.
And then stuck a gap wedge to like 8-9 feet or whatever it was.
8-9 feet.
I mean, for the viewers, 8-9 feet.
Yeah, 8-9 feet.
Or whatever it was. It was close,
and
it was, it was a good shot, and I'm just like, and it was just so simple, and it's not because I'm really trying to see that Rory McIlroy roping hook draw type thing that starts 35 left of right of target and draws in. Yeah, it's just a aim here and try and hit a draw. It'll negate this over the top.
Yeah,
sledgehammer.
It's a couple degrees here and there from where you're standing.
Yeah,
but in the span of 200 meters, it's a lot.
And it got me thinking in the drive home after golf, that whole feel versus real thing because, and we can discuss this for a long time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We'll try not to, but it feels like I should see the ball turn 40 meters right to left.
No. So I've explained this to you before. Your natural is out the in.
Yeah,
so it's
100%.
naturally it's going to be 4, 5, sometimes 6 degrees if you get steep and cutty on
Yeah.
it. But then he said the exact same thing I've told you, that you feeling like a draw is only going to make it squarer.
Yeah, correct.
And then, like for me, I'm already square. Me feeling cutty, I'm already sort of a couple degrees into out with the longer shit anyway. And for me to feel cutty, I've got to go squarer.
Yeah.
But it feels cutty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm a bit the opposite. But
But
yeah,
no,
it's feel versus real completely. 100%.
100%. And I said it to you shortly after he gave me the tips, and I'm like, this feels like it's repeatable.
Yeah,
it's not drastic
It looks
changes.
good.
And it did look good, and it felt good, and it was straight away. It wasn't even a swing change. It was just a slight tweak that I can throw into the game straight away. And if I notice that balls are starting left of the target and getting really high and loopy and falling short because they're just getting too spinny or whatever it might be, chuck those 2 little changes in.
Yeah.
And then try and just square it out.
Yeah.
And you can do it mid-round. I literally did it today. So, mate, shout out to Toby for that.
Yeah, sort of for the meantime, try and exaggerate the feeling because you love that feeling. And then when you start seeing it doing uncomfortably more than you'd like, then you dial it back to a comfort.
Yep.
To something you know.
Absolutely.
And then you work and then you go find a happy medium and you play with that.
And I said it to Toby after he told me all about it. And I said there was a period of time when I was playing off about 11 or 12 where I was really heavily involved in like going to the simulator regularly and keeping an eye on the numbers and especially club path as well. And I was floating between 2 degrees either side of zero. So out to in and into out. I could do it on command. It was that period when I told you that I would just went into the sim and taught myself how to hit a draw.
Yeah.
Right? It was around that period where I was playing off maybe like 9 at the lowest. Right?
Yeah.
And I was comfortable for about a 3-month period, 2 degrees either side of zero. And I was flushing it.
Which is fuck all.
It's fuck all, right? But it's 4 degrees of difference.
Yes.
Between hitting a cut and hitting a draw. And I was so comfy in that slot.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened. I just lost it.
Well, not even that. It's more you find a swing feeling and you get comfy with a shape, and so you trust it. It's like look at Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Like he hit the same golf shot with every shot in the PGA.
Yeah.
Hit the same golf shot. Might have had to work a draw once.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really watch that much of it, but hence the non-bonus set. But like he hit the same golf shot. Like I watched that final round. I watched every shot of that final round of his just on YouTube. It's like 15 minutes or something like that, and it's just the same purely cut. It's every single fucking shot. Wedge, driver, long iron, everything. It was just the same golf shot.
Yeah.
It's just because it was so repeatable.
It is very repeatable. And I think that's probably what ended up happening to me was hitting a fade to me is so much more comfortable than hitting a draw. And for a lot of players might find the same thing. It is not against the laws of human motion to try and hit a draw, but it's a lot harder.
Yeah, more. I find more has to go right to hit the perfect draw than to hit the perfect fade. I find like Toby hits a comfy cut. He hits a fade, right? And I've always for the longest time hit draws, and I'm starting to hit. I've straightened up a lot.
But again, my favorite shot that you hit is that little peeler off the tee. My favorite shot of yours is that.
Because it hits the fairway every time.
That's it.
It doesn't go a mile, but it don't have to.
And it's something I've tried to. I'm like, I hit cuts for fun. Like, why don't I try and put this into my game as well? And then all of a sudden, there it is. And
it should be. I was going to say that
I hit it up 8, and it was just
that one should be the easy shot to hit.
Correct. And I'm just I've neglected it for so long because I don't need to put it that high off the ground.
Yeah.
I can just hit a cut.
Well, for me to feel cutty, I feel steeper.
Yeah.
That for me to generate some spin
That's
to
exactly
get
right.
it cutting. But now it's like since I've neutralized everything, which myself and Raptor have been working on. I've neutralized everything out, so now I've got a bit more to work with, so I can start cutting it on more on command.
Absolutely.
Under a little bit of pressure, if there's elements I prefer not, but not the point. It's like down 11. There's just a peely fade. It's a little fade. I'm pissed off at hit the tree and just dropped, but not the point. The shot shape was there. The shot was perfect.
Yeah.
All right, and then hit the end thing or whatever it was. But you find something repeatable, and that's what me and you worked on, especially down 5 that a few months ago that we worked on. It's just like, what shot do you want to see?
Yeah,
what are you
correct.
comfy looking at? I feel like hitting a fade. Well, for one, you aim at the right bunker. So no wonder
no wonder why it's hard right.
No wonder you're getting steeper and
Yeah.
more out to in to try and get it starting further left is because you're aiming right. So let's aim left and swing.
And even today, like my natural
complimenting that.
my natural address position has always been left of the target. I don't think that'll ever change. I think it'll take it'll take a good year and a half of me constantly telling myself, do not aim left of the target to break that.
But you don't.
Curse,
you don't. It's like Jim Furyk's coach. I think it was either his coach or his old man or both. Because people always sort of criticized it in a way, going, "Oh, ugly swing. How's that ever going to make it on tour?" And blah blah blah. And he's got the lowest score ever in tour history. I'm pretty sure the 58, right? But I'm pretty sure his dad or coach said, "Why change it? Let's perfect it."
Yeah.
So that's the same sort of thing. Like
it's the same thing.
You don't need to change anything. It's just what's comfy to look at, and now let's perfect that. And so that's what me and you have been doing. I'm
Absolutely.
just like, what feels good, righto? Let's complement that and let's get that going and get you feeling. Then you can start working other shit out, which is good. That's why the thing today with Toby worked.
Absolutely.
It's because he goes, okay, hang on, try this. Because if you're not hitting it all that great, now that you've got something to revert to get that ball striking back, and then you can start swinging comfy again.
Yeah.
And like find that happy medium.
Because I know the positioning in my body and in my swing to be able to produce a draw.
Yeah.
I've done it, and I've spent time doing it. And there was a good year-long period where all I hit was draws. Couldn't, and I had to reteach myself how to hit a fade. Do you know what I mean? So now I'm sort of floating in between fades and trying to, you go one end of the scale and it becomes a slice, and then you bring it back and it becomes a draw and a hook and all that. You constantly flow between the two shapes. And again, trying to find that happy medium right in the middle where if I need to hit a draw like on 15, right, with driver, if I need to try and hit a draw, can I do it? All right, let's have a crack.
The one thing that I did notice with you a couple of times, you're significantly better now, was when you wanted to hit a draw so you'd aim further left.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like... No. And I looked at it and then you'd be like confused as to why it started left and faded away. And I'm like... What are you trying to do there? Hit a draw? I'm like, huh? Why are you aiming? Right, and now, now it's like the golf IQ is better now. That's
100%.
Like for it to go left, you have to aim right.
Like the brain and the body are working in opposite directions. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But no, I'm really, really happy. Mitch Cooper gave me a website a few weeks ago to see score differentials. And I haven't done the maths on today's round yet, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that it might kick me under 4.
Oh.
Which is if you track back to the first or last episode of 2024 when we did the old, what is your goal for 2025? Mine was to show you a 3 handicap.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
3.4 or better.
3. Yeah. Really.
Well, that's
something with a 3 in the front.
The 3 in front of it. Yeah. Right? Sub 4. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And I don't think it will, but I need to jump on the calculator and have a look, but. Or just wait till tomorrow.
Interesting. Or you just wait.
Yeah, or just wait.
Or just wait till tonight.
Yeah, correct.
Because it'll come up, won't it? So what are you now?
4.5, I think.
Oh, you'd have to beat a pretty high flag.
Yeah.
For it to come down. So do you have a flag today?
No.
So you will eliminate yours are good. So your highest is a 6.5. So you'll get rid of that and replace it with something like a 2.8.
There's a chance.
Can't say why not.
There's a chance.
You've also got 2 6.1s, but you get rid of one high one, or you get rid of your highest.
Yeah,
your 6.5.
Yeah. So
can't say why not. It will come down a little bit.
Yeah.
Might be a sort of like a 4.1 job, 4.0 maybe flat.
Anything is good. At this
absolutely.
point. Considering, what was it? Maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Actually, do I have a flag drop or not?
It was probably just before Easter.
Oh, I don't.
Anyway, just before Easter, I played around with a fellow by the name of Craig, who's a loyal listener and a good mate of mine, and we've met through the golf club and stuff. Plays off about 20 or so. And we played I rang him on a Wednesday night, and I'm like, you working tomorrow? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, I'm teeing off at 7:30 in the morning. Like, let's go. And he's like, all right, I'll call him. I'll tell him I'll be late to work. And he works from home. He's very fortunate in that side. And so he came and played. And we were just having a chat, and I told him that day that I was more than complacent knowing that there was a strong chance I'd never get below 6. And he goes, fuck that. He goes, you are a idiot.
Yeah.
He's like, get rid of that thought
everyone
process.
can.
And he's like, you hit it so much better than that.
Yeah,
and,
you hit it better than you think.
And it doesn't matter who it comes from, right? It was just kind of not the fire that sort of lit me to keep going and stuff, but I'm like, oh, well, I keep hearing it.
You know what Toby
keep hearing it. So I'm just like, why can't I do something about it?
Yeah. You know what Toby said today that really actually made me like that I've been not trying to say for so long, but try and get you to believe something. And I say it to my old man all the time as well, where on the back of 17, when you say, I just don't have that shot, he's like, bullshit. Yeah. Everyone has that shot.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that you like is understanding how to do it, when to do it, how to hit it.
Yeah.
Like, it's understanding how.
Yeah.
But absolutely, everyone does have that shot. Everyone does. And he's fucking right.
Yeah, he's right.
He's right. It's like, then there's one thing of doing it, knowing how to do it and blah, 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 and practicing it.
And picking your moment as well.
And picking your moment as well. But I've had to explain that to my old man as well. Like going with certain shots, he goes, oh, I can't play that shot. And I'm like, no, you just don't play that shot.
Yeah.
I can show you how to and things like that and gain a bit of confidence. But yes, you do have that in the bag. You absolutely do.
Absolutely.
You're just not sure yet.
Yeah.
So here's how, and now do it.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
and then we spent a bit of time at the back of eight.
Back of eight, because we're waiting for two groups so we're just sort of chipping around and sort of talking philosophies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was great because everything you and Toby were sort of doing, because I was standing at the flag just watching results.
Yeah.
Toby was just
catching balls.
Just catching balls and throwing them back, right? And it was grouse. Everything you were doing complemented all the feels that we did.
Yeah.
So that's why you could play those shots. And that little lower, little fadey spinner that you see us doing so often is all of a sudden now an easy shot. Because it is. And now and then you're like, oh my God. Like, how easy is this? You just needed to understand how to do it.
Absolutely.
And it was great. It was good to see. And then
he's
and hearing, and he's very, golf IQ is very smart.
Oh, dude.
His golf IQ is actually really good. He's going to be a very good coach when or if he stops playing or something like that, and he does whatever he wants to do or something like that. He's a great coach because he understands positions. He understands what the club does and where it enters ground or how it hits the ball or how flights happen and how the body moves. He's very good with like biology. He understands how the body moves and what it creates.
He's also fantastic at explaining it in really simple terms.
Yeah.
Because there's, and again, nothing against how you go about it. You and I have been pretty successful in our journeys. There are times where you start getting really sort of you really start to explain in detail how things are working, and you use terms that I don't freaking care about nor know, right? And Toby's just like, try this.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. Try that. Doesn't work. Put it in the middle. It works.
It works.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder. yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so simple.
Yeah.
And like to compliment what you were saying before, that's why he's gonna, if he doesn't make squillions on tour, he's gonna make squillions coaching.
He'll be great. He'll be great if he does it. He'll do it well, and he's sort of got already a bit of an idea of what he wants to do in future and stuff like that. But it's like he's much like anyone. There's no coach that coaches the same way.
No.
There's coaches that coach the same ideas in certain contexts, but he does it very differently. He's a lot about maybe changing up a position that doesn't work, whereas I complement the feel. So I'm a very feel based, so I'll explain it in that way. And it's not saying that I don't know the context he's going in or the detail he's going in.
Yeah,
it's just simplifying it. So that's why when he's speaking to me or he gets me to do a wedge shot, he explains the feel more. Like, feel this, put your hand here and feel this, because I already understand the technological side of it, like the technique side of things.
Yeah.
Whereas explain it for yourself, not saying that he's dumbing it down. He's
No,
not
but
dumbing
he
it
has
down.
to dumb it down.
But just water it down just a 15th.
Yeah, he has to dumb it down.
Just to simplify it just a touch, just so it doesn't blow your head off.
Yeah.
And then once you wrap your head around that, right, now it's the extra little bit of detail. And then he adds a little bit of pepper onto it each time. I love the way he does it.
Absolutely.
And
I agree.
And the way, like myself and SGM, I've really sort of, I'm sort of proud of myself a little bit because I've revolutionized his short game a little bit. It's gone from not having a short game period to being able to make up shots because of it. So it's awesome. Yeah. It's awesome to see he's actually working with it, but he's the one that you can't fill the head with.
Yeah.
You can't fill his head with all this shit.
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense. It's just like, no, your hands need to feel like this and just do it. There's 2 steps. That's it.
And I remember, like, to compliment again what you were saying, SGM and I had a session when I was in the pits with the short game, and he was trying to just tell me to do 1 or 2 things here and there, and I'm just like, and it was, I think I might have spoken about it on here where I was like, Michael, this worked for you. It's not going to work for me, but also like, you're not explaining it enough.
No.
You're just like, he goes, I feel this, and then I feel this, and I'm like, okay.
It works for you.
I was like, what does that mean?
I think we have spoken about this.
What does that mean? But we spoke about
different strokes for different folks.
We spoke about just before we started recording, and even when we were having lunch with Tobes after the round, how good a day like today is.
Oh,
right. And I think the one thing you're starting to realize now, since playing more events and professional golf, is that there is so much. I mean, money aside, there is so much more value for your health in playing a round of golf with two or three of your mates. At your local club, comp or no comp, after work or whatever, just shooting the shit and literally shooting the shit as well, right? Playing whatever standard, because you said it today, I could have had 12 over or 2 under. I really couldn't have cared less today. And it's something I've been preaching heaps on this podcast the last couple of years that we've been doing it, that I see so much more value in playing with people I actually enjoy playing with.
Yeah, you've actually expressed that a lot. But yeah, like I said, like you said, I said that at the lunch table. That like Toby brought it up, going like, he looks outside and he goes, "How good was that?" Like, he actually genuinely enjoyed it, which was awesome. And I said, and I said to him, I'm still somewhat new to the Australasian tour side of things. I'm very new to these tour events. These are Australasian events rather than these trainee events that I've been playing. Because I've played a million of them, and it's sort of it's on the back burner now. That's behind me. So I'm on a bigger scene, I guess. So I'm starting to compete in these high level events against guys that I don't want to blow smoke up my ass, but with the events I was playing, I was one of the better ones going there.
Yeah.
And so now with these ones,
there's more.
Hey, little guy, you've got a lot to learn.
Yeah, like, there's literally levels to this shit.
There's insane levels. Like, the level of golf that I'm going to compete against now is like, whoa, you're good, and you're so much better than me.
Yeah,
and I've got a lot of work to do, sort of thing. So, but now it's so, because it's a job, it's work. So I went over to Perth for work. That's how I sort of got to look at it now.
You are walking onto a golf course to earn money, to earn a living.
It's my job technically now.
Yeah,
and like, I'm not working the hours I want to yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because I don't have that full contract.
Yeah,
but you're working towards that.
You're on an apprentice wage.
I'm just on a casual shift right now.
You're on apprentice wages.
I'm just on a casual agreement right now, and I want to go full time. That's what I'm sort of working towards. So I need to prove myself, basically.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So, and yeah, I said to go back. I said to Tobe, I said to you guys, I'm like, how much more I value days like today, because you used to kind of take it for granted, just going, because I would show up going, I want to shoot the best score I possibly can.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, whether I have a good score or not, that it doesn't matter. But it's so much more of like enjoyment, and it was just genuinely fun, like genuinely fun. Because now there's 2 tiers of golf that I play. There's one with you boys, which when I wasn't playing tour events or wasn't, competing in Q schools and stuff like that, was all I really had. Apart from like the trainee side of things, but I saw that's more a lot of a social side of things as well, because I was sort of getting out of that mentally and blah blah. Anyway, and so now is like 2 different aspects. I've got my work, which I go play events, play for money, trying to make a living, blah blah blah, and then days like today where I'm still playing a comp round, but I'm coming out here because it's, and Toby said it perfectly. He goes, "How good of a life could we have when your day off you just go play golf? Your day off is playing golf from playing golf." But it was I just value it so much more now.
It's something I'm obviously, that lifestyle of playing golf to make money and playing golf to have fun is something that a lot of people would be super jealous of, right? Let's not beat around the bush, but also like, you hear about it if you read books and watch documentaries and all that kind of stuff of, pro golfers, and they talk about playing practice rounds. They don't play practice rounds with just anybody. They play practice rounds with their mates.
Generally, yeah. Of people they want to play with.
So Tiger will go out with Mark O'Meara or, whoever else. JT's going out with Jordan Spieth. The boys stick together. Right? And it's because at the crux of it all is just a couple of blokes who just want to enjoy the game that they love. And it's the one thing that, not that I worry about, but the one thing that I hope that I'll never have to have that conversation with you in your career is still loving it.
Well, see, like I
Don't
said,
grow to hate the game because you're not making any cash out of it.
See, that's the difference. There's countless amount of guys and there's even guys that I know and have, let's make an example. My boss Luke.
Yep.
He had those two sides. So he still plays socially, still a member at Eastern, still goes out and just loves it. Absolutely loves it, but will never wants to even like see the sight of pro golf.
Yeah.
So like the competition aspect of it, because he's already said it. He's done with that. And when he was competing, he was like at towards the end of it, he's just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I still want to play. I still want to enjoy it, but I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different department.
Yeah.
And like, I hope it never happens. And I from right now, I can't see it ever happening. But whether with whoever it is, with professional, whether it's Toby's even said it, that he goes, when my time's up, I want to coach, sort of thing. That's what he's even said. That doesn't mean he'll never play.
No, of course.
He'll always play to enjoy the game,
yeah.
but he just won't do that life or death aspect of it.
Absolutely.
Which is a completely different mindset.
You're a short time pro golfer. Right? You got to make the most of it while you can.
Absolutely.
And also grow to not walk away from it and never want to play again.
No, it's just the goal is just to enjoy it at the end of the day. So.
That's it. So speaking of pro golf and pro events, we obviously were talking earlier about discussing the PGA.
Yeah. Before we do that, I will just give a quick update. The Perth travel.
Perth.
So headed over to Perth last Thursday.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday event.
I'm going to sneeze, but anyway, keep going.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday was the event. It was basically a big pro-am.
Yeah.
So you play with amateurs or members or whatever it is for the first 2 days, and then I think it's a flat-out pro group, or if amateurs played in the pro field sort of thing. So actually, after round one, there was an amateur leading. Two amateurs inside the top 5.
Cool.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
Which was great to see. They shot some ridiculous numbers, which was great to see. And yeah, so there was an amateur leading after round 1 and 2, I think. He didn't quite have the greatest final round, but anyway, still a great event. And then final round, we played with I think it's groups of 3 pros in the final round. Not too bad a result. It's I only went over the one event, but yeah, I'm really starting to get trying to get the hang of the actual travel side of things. Stay where you're not comfortable with, play and still produce a good result. So I'm starting to get the hang of it. Well, when I say start, it's literally starting. I'm starting.
Yeah.
So I've got the plans from here on in. The result, by the way, I think it was top 15 or top 16 or something like that, so whatever it was. Anyway, and then progression from there, hoping to get into an event that I won't find out till tomorrow. So when you're listening to this, it was yesterday that I'm trying to find out whether I get to one in Queensland.
Okay.
And then I'll go up there for 8 days, I think, play 3 events, come home, and then I'm going to go play up with Toby in start of July, come home, and then there's some stuff in August, late July, early August, that I'm going to do some moving around top of New South. So fly into Gold Coast and then go down the East Coast.
Cool.
And then play, hopefully, anywhere from 6 to 10 events sort of thing. And that's my way of building up, my Pro-Am category, which can give me a better Pro-Am category to get into some of the bigger Pro-Ams. So instead of the 1 days, you get into some 2-3 days.
Yep.
Which is great because that builds your category even more. And then having a good Pro-Am category can even get you a start in certain tour events, which is great. And with my category now, I'll get a start in a couple. And much like shout out to James Conran, he won at Heritage Classic, he's a great example. He went into last season with I'm not even sure if it was a full card or not. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it was, but he had an A category. And he played very well at the start of the season in the first few events and actually played his way into events. Right. And then built and had some great results. And then, sure enough, won an event.
Wins at Heritage.
And now he's got a 2-year secured card.
Yeah, right.
So he went from basically having somewhat a category that I have now.
Is that what a win will generate? Yeah? Is it
a win gets you the winners category, which is category 3, which guarantees you every event. Simple as that. And I think a win gives you, I think, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it gives you, secures you a 2-year exemption.
Cool.
on the Aussie tour. So I think that's what that
cool.
gets you, which is fantastic. So the easy way to do it is to win one. But
yeah, well, that's it.
So you never know.
No,
but
you never know.
Yeah, so I just got to play my way into the best pro-am category I can, and play the ones I can get into, make the most of that. And then, the first couple of events or the first opportunities I get, whether it's
absolutely
this side of the draw or the next, I'm not sure. Just go to all the pre-Qs and just give the best opportunity to try and produce some good results and climb that order of merit and get myself some starts.
Perfect.
So that's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's to sum up.
But before that, we probably need to bust the diary out and the calendars and figure out
we
where
need to
you
figure
are.
out when. Toby actually made a good point. He goes, with pro-ams, you try and play as many events in the smallest amount of time you can.
Absolutely.
So fly in, play 4 events in a week, fly back.
Yeah.
And just
in, out, shake it all about.
In, out, and he goes, so you're not wasting any time. I'm like, all right, good point. So I took in on his advice because he's been there, done that, and still doing it. So anyway,
Absolutely.
PGA.
PGA Championship was over last weekend. If you've been living under a rock for the last week and a bit, it was won by Scotty Scheffler. Surprise, surprise.
Shocker.
I saw a video, and we were talking to Remy about it when he was in after we recorded. I saw a video. No, actually, we didn't say it with Rim. We saw it. I said it to you.
After that.
No. When we were playing holes at Rosanna last week, that I saw with SGM. That I saw a video of, or like a thing on Instagram. It might have even been Phil Mickelson saying that everyone needs to get used to the idea that Scotty Scheffler might not win till the FedEx playoffs. And I was like, and at the time when I saw it, he wasn't playing that well and he wasn't swinging it great.
Wasn't that before the CJ Cup?
Probably.
It was before the
Probably.
CJ Cup.
And I was just like, I can, yep, fair enough. Like, it's not the worst thing I've heard at the time. But now looking back at it, I'm just like, what an idiot. Right? It's doubting greatness.
I also did hear some clowns say that Rory would never win another.
Yeah, well, anyway, let's not talk about that.
Sorry, it was right there. That was a layup.
I know it was.
That was a layup.
It was.
Sorry. Anyway.
So Scotty Scheffler wins with 11 under. He's 5 clear of second. So Harris English, Bryson DeChambeau, Davis Riley all finished tied for second.
Yeah.
Taylor Pendrith, Jonathan Vegas, JT Poston tied for 5th.
Yep.
All right. The notable Aussies. Scrolling a fair way down. Cam Davis was 2 under. Now I want to talk about Cam Davis for a quick second in a sec. Okay. Adam Scott 2 under as well. And I think that was it.
No. So Elvis Smiley also won.
Yes.
He got an invite from Golf Australia, PGA of Australia. Spoke with the USPGA and he got an invite for this event, which was unreal. Made the cut, I think, by 1 or 2. By a shot. I think he shot even or something. Or one under.
He was 1 under.
He was 1 under, so he made it by 2, which is great, which is an unreal effort. His first PGA event, which is unbelievable. He dominated in Australia last season, like made everyone look pretty silly.
Yeah.
With some of the results he was producing, and it goes over and makes his first cut in a major. And so just goes bang. So it was unreal.
He finished 10 over for the tournament with rounds of 70, 73, 77, unfortunately, in the third round and 74 on the last day.
Yeah, okay.
But for your first major, nothing.
Make a cut.
How good. Good payday. Worth going over.
Even for the guys that were sitting maybe top 5, I just want to make the cut. That's the whole goal.
And he's beaten some good names here. Jake Knapp's in the form of his life. Jordan Spieth, Tom Hoagie, Padraig Harrington, who's a past champion, Kurt Kitayama, Seb Straka, Shane Lowry, Ashkay Bhatia, Keith Mitchell, Justin Thomas, Ludwig Aberg. He's beaten some players.
A few unreal names. And that doesn't discredit them. That's
God,
you come out and
everyone can have a week.
Not even
everyone can have a shit week.
Having a week is making the cut. Period.
Correct.
Having a week, like if you went out and played well, like Rory McIlroy, he made the cut on the number.
Yeah.
Like, and people will be like, "Oh, what happened? Oh, what happened?" It's what do you mean? It's a major. Like the winner's only been when I say the winner only won, only got to 11 under. That's still unbelievable. But the rest of the pack, he's Scotty's in different. He's playing a different game at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure what game he's playing. I'd love to know, but it was pretty cool because I saw Elvis Smiley actually play with Jonathan Vegas in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So he would have witnessed that incredible first round. I think he still shot a good round of 1 over in the second round.
Yeah.
And people are probably turning their nose up. Good round of 1 over. Let's remind everybody of how hard 1, golf is.
Yeah.
2, a major tournament, and 3, how hard that golf course is.
in those conditions.
Conditions as well. So
there's a few factors at play.
So 1 over is still a fantastic round.
Absolutely,
and especially coming off the back of shooting 64 or whatever he had, 65 or something, 7 under.
Elvis, if you're listening, we'd love to get you in and have a chat about it, mate. The door's open. You're more than welcome to come whenever you like.
That'd be pretty cool.
Let's have a chat, Jolly, because we haven't done a bonus episode, so we might as well spend some time.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
2 things I want to ask you. Because there's a big topic. There's a big topic coming out of the PGA Championships and about conditions and what should and shouldn't happen in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
But the first question I want to ask you is how fucking good is Scotty Scheffler?
It's I saw someone, whether it was just written down or it was actually spoken and then turned into a quote or not, I'm not sure. He was called the Tim Duncan of golf. So what that basically means, it is so, I'm not going to say simple, but it is so automatic and almost the same thing. It's like underrated greatness because he doesn't do anything flashy. He doesn't, like when I say flashy, he's not your Tiger Woods that gets the ball hooping and spinning and all this crazy crap.
He's not Steph Curry knocking down threes for fun or Jordan.
It's just and the stats back him up. He's hitting so many fairways. He's hitting so many greens and close and rolls in the putts he needs to. If he put and Toby actually made a good point today. When he does miss, it's in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
He knows where to miss. And that's what I actually look at a little bit more. Like how good's your bad shots? And his bad shots are so good. So good. Like if he misses a fairway, it's not by much. He knows it's going to cut. So he might just overcut it a tiny bit. Or hitting into a green, he misses on the fat portion of the green.
Yeah.
Pins at the front. If he's he's hitting it past the hole too far.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. Or if he's he's never short-sighted. He never hit a flop shot to make up and down. He either had a chip shot from the front of the green, around the green, very easy bunker shot, or something.
Him and his,
it's just incredible.
Scotty
it's crazy.
and his caddy Ted Scott.
Yeah.
Are probably the most tactically sound combination I think the sport's maybe ever seen.
Well, yeah, there's obviously a lot of very dynamic duos. I'm not saying they're the most successful
because we've seen Scott, Tiger Woods and Steve Williams.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of good combinations.
We've seen some very dynamic duos,
right?
And I think we put them in their own sort of seats, whether they're above each other or not. It doesn't matter.
But for sheer tactics, and you just rattled off a bunch of things that Scotty didn't do.
Yeah.
Right? In order to put it, he misses in the best spots. He never had a short-sighted flop shot or anything like that.
Yeah.
That just speaks to 2 things. One, his execution of the shot that he's trying to play, obviously, is at the highest level, right?
Yeah.
2, tactically, they've got everything figured out.
They just got it dialed in because it's not overcomplicating it. It's very simple. And for anyone that does watch YouTube golf, when Grant Horvat actually released that video with him and Scotty, that was awesome to watch. And,
so good.
And there was actually a couple of times where Scotty Scheffler's like got a certain club in hand going, I'm not sure if this is in between. And he goes, what's the window? And he's like, where's Ted? He literally goes, where's Ted?
Yeah.
Like he needs his wingman. He needs not needs it because he still shot 66 or something in that YouTube video.
Yeah.
Right. But he goes,
there's such a heavy reliance.
They're such a compatible duo and work so well together that even the Batman needs his Robin. Like he needs his like, I need you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I need you for this.
Yep.
Or trying to read a putt. Where's Ted? Like he needs,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's awesome to see that you're not saying he relies on him, but it's like a reassurance thing. It's like that's what a caddy's job is, to make the golfer's job easier. That's the whole point. And he seems to be doing a very, very, very good job of it.
They're doing fantastically.
It's just incredible. It's just so good.
Toby made the comment today, we're walking down 3 talking about it, and Toby said that in his opinion, and it's a bold statement, that Scotty Scheffler is the best golfer we've ever seen.
Yeah, he could be.
He could be.
But yes,
and everyone's going to turn around
and
and go, oh, Tiger was this, Tiger was that. And it's all well and good. We've seen it. We've spoken about it. He's the GOAT, right? Depending on who you speak to, he's the GOAT.
Based off achievement, and absolutely.
But if you're talking about everything that Scotty does well, I don't think Scotty's got a flaw in his game.
He doesn't.
You could argue that he's
doesn't.
not the greatest putter going round.
No.
But he's solid. He's so solid. There's just one thing you'd point out, because he's had issues with putter in the past, and that's fine. Tiger had issues with driver. And he's renowned. He's renowned for being one of the best drivers of all time with the golf ball. But he still had issues with driver. He was hitting rope hooks for 2 years straight. Right? 03 and 04. Right.
So with Toby's comment, it's he actually did elaborate a little bit. It's more when saying the best, it is he plays the simplest side of golf the best. So he makes golf look easy. Yeah. That's the point.
That's it.
Whereas I think with Tiger, he actually did play shots that no one else could.
Yeah, correct.
That's probably the difference. So
and I think the other half of Toby's argument was the level of competition he's got to do it against.
Well, that as well. Like not saying any era didn't have competition. It's the achievement that what you achieved under the competition you had. So it's like saying Jordan was playing against harder or easier people, or people said, oh, Jordan was playing against plumbers or whatever it was, or whatever the argument is. It's like, okay, but he was still the standout.
Yeah,
he was still the best then.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, Jordan, LeBron. Well, they didn't play against each other, nor did they play against the same people. Like, no. It's uncompared. It's more the statistics and the numbers that produce that. So it's why Tiger. That's why some people argue Tiger or Jack. Jack won more majors, Tiger won more. And Tiger, Jack did it for longer. He played for a lot more, but it sometimes goes back, and they never played in the same era.
No.
Tiger won in 2000 at Pebble, and that was Jack's last US Open. So Jack's literally on the arse end of his whole career, and Tiger's not just getting going, but he's only 3 years in.
Yeah, correct.
And same with Scotty. Scotty's playing against the hardest fields golf has ever seen because it's. We haven't seen further.
How many major champions is he playing against every week?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like everyone is unbelievably good, and he's just that little bit better. At the moment. And he's proving it.
That's it.
Really impressive.
It's pretty phenomenal. But the one thing I wanted to speak about, and I hyped this up a little bit before, was we spoke about it last week briefly with Rim while we were in here about the weather conditions at Quail Hollow. And I just spoke about seeing a video of Hideki putting through puddles and all that kind of stuff. And then there was this whole debate about whether there should or shouldn't be
playing it up
preferred lies in a sense for the tournament. Yeah. And I must have seen somewhere that they were and then they weren't, and I couldn't really keep track of it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't really pay all that much attention to this championship. This is going to sound shit, but I kind of forgot it was on. Right? And just things got in the way. Life got in the way for the weekend, and I was just like, oh, shit, okay. And I wasn't really till the end of the third round, start of the fourth, where I was actually like, all right, let's
see what's going on.
Let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
But then I saw the video of Shane Lowry hitting his ball out of an embedded lie in the fairway, which wasn't granted to be an embedded lie by the rules official, which was, probably well agreed upon that it was utter bullshit.
Yeah.
Scotty's complaining about, in these conditions, he shouldn't be penalised by having mud on the side of his ball. I love
how he's speaking about that, and let's call it complaining because it was.
Yeah.
It was a complaint, but it wasn't like a sook. You know what I mean? He's just saying this is an issue and this is why. Right?
Absolutely.
And then goes and wins.
Yeah,
like that's so funny to me.
And
I think that's hilarious.
Being the number one player in the world and the winner of the tournament, and if he's got the same problems, then all right, he managed to make it work for him.
Yeah, exactly.
But for every Scotty Scheffler that wins it, there's probably 250 other blokes who cop the same shit and don't do as well.
And wasn't able to.
And probably more affected.
Yeah.
Right? You and I had a pretty lengthy discussion on the phone yesterday about this topic, and I think we sort of came to the conclusion that there needs to be significant circumstances for this to happen. It doesn't need to happen for all 4 rounds in a tournament. No. First things first. As it was in the PGA, the conditions were pretty poor rounds 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden 3 and 4 was okay, and it was
weather-wise,
and the course sort of recovered a little bit in that time. I think that PGA and RNA should not look away from potentially a pick-up, put-down scenario. And it comes down to, all right, well, then how do you deem it? Well, everyone's got tees in their pocket. Pull out 4 tees, make a little box that is no bigger than, put 4 tees in each corner of the ball, right? Pick your ball up. You can't improve the line in any way, shape, or form, right? Pick your ball up, give it a clean, place it back down, hit your shot.
So, to elaborate on that, like we said on the phone,
because
I've played obviously in Q schools and tour events, and I've had to get rulings that sometimes even a club golf or a local rule I've been aware of, and I actually ask them on the back of this golf, like already golf rule, and they said, no, that rule actually is null and void. There's PGA Tour rules that override this.
Yep.
So it's like, oh shit, and it's on the hard card. The hard card's huge, right? And so there's like branches of general golf rules that the tour rule overrides.
Okay.
So whether it's hazards or something or whatever it might be. So I think with playing the ball up or preferred lies or whatever you want to call it, much like what on the back of what Scotty Scheffler was saying like, why should I get penalized for hitting the fairway? And it's almost like the divot like conversation, like what is a divot? You know what I mean? So I think for particularly on the tour or particularly for events that is heavily monitored by rules officials and staff and stuff like that. So much like when I play Q School, there's a lot of rules officials out there sort of just floating around just for people that might need a ruling on something. So with something like this, let's go back to the Quail Hollow, is if you hit down the fairway and there is a significant amount of turf or mud or whatever you want to fucking call it, and you're 99 to 100% sure that it is going to affect the ball with the way it flies, or it is going to affect contact or something like that. Step one is to get the marker of your card or your playing partners over, and if all three of you agree, yes, this is not playable, but it's abnormal ground condition. So you've hit the fairway, the pitch mark's this big in the fairway, and you've got a big clump on the side of it. Then you get a rules official over. If they agree as well, then mark it however you want to. With the rules official breathing down your neck. So it's all done fairly in the same way. So you scrape only the bit that's affecting the golf ball off, and then you place it back down without cleaning maybe the rest of it. And so just the affected part, scrape that off or whatever you need to do to it, place the ball back, off you go.
Yeah.
So I said on the phone, it should be extremely circumstantial because in that environment it can be. Whereas if we played today and this general golf rule was in play and I had a little bit of grass that I didn't like or a little bit of sand on the back of the ball that might affect my shot, I could just go, oh, there's shit on my ball, I'm just going to go clean it. It's like, no.
Yeah.
It has to be extremely heavily monitored and very circumstantial, which is hard to do.
And what I was trying to explain to you yesterday on the phone was that if you want to initiate these rules to come into effect, lift, clean and place or whatever it might be called, right, it needs to be a decision made before the round by the tour or whoever.
The commencement of the round, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you just go, guys, we're playing pick up, put down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Through on the fairway only.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then say this is the process that we can follow.
Yeah.
And then and then tomorrow morning we'll have another meeting about if we're going to play it again tomorrow.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
You'll be notified.
Each day you'll be notified.
Yeah.
Right? Via text or someone will speak to you, rules official on the first tee, whatever it might be. Right? And only in those circumstances can you be in that predicament.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like I said, extremely circumstantial.
It's not going to happen every week.
No.
Right? So you rock up next week to the John Deere Classic and it's, 90 degrees Fahrenheit and it's dry as a bone and all that kind of stuff, but you somehow managed to get a clump of duck shit.
Bad luck.
Sorry, brother.
Bad luck.
Right? I think generally golf is such a heavily so forcefully run sport in terms of rulings and stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's very strict.
It's built on honesty and it's built on tradition. It's built on etiquette. And I think that at times in modern golf, there has kind of been times where we can call to relax that a little bit, right? Particularly at our level in club levels and stuff. Like
there's
who
leniency.
gives a shit,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
right? But even going forward to the tour is just like, well, hang on a second. No, we can relax X, Y, Z areas, right? And they've done it with clothing and all that kind of stuff in the last 5 years. But now when you start looking at rules as they are, why can't we turn around and say, right, we've just had 5 days. We've had a month's worth of rain in 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They cancelled the Pro-Am. Practice rounds didn't happen. All of a sudden the golf course is a swimming pool. Okay, yeah, we'll play preferred lies. You get a tee length, right? Everyone gets, you have a box of tees at the front. They're the only tees that anyone's allowed to use. And you get one of those lengths because they know they're all cut to 2 inches or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or whatever they decide to make
something.
it. We're not sitting here saying that we've got all the answers.
No.
We're simply just saying
it might not.
This is how it is affecting the golfers. And it does affect people.
It might not even be that simple just to make the rule change. But like I said, a PGA Tour rule or a professional tour rule is generally overrides every other rule, especially on the hard cut that I've experienced anyway. And so I think it shouldn't be too hard to maybe implement something like that, like a generalized, like it's very circumstantial. You might not know until 5 minutes before your tee time that, we've had some overnight rain. The groundsmen have been out there. The officials have been out there. Everyone's been out there to assess the conditions. And only if, because you might go through the whole round and not get a single mud ball, but you might go through the round where you have 4 and only 2 of them got deemed, let's say, unplayable.
Yeah.
Because the ball might go and just fall out of the air. But I loved what Scotty said in that one interview, that one press conference where he said, how would you feel if you've gone through your whole entire life? We've gone through our whole entire life practicing hours upon hours upon hours, like and practicing how to hit ball flights and control the ball. And that's just been taken away from us by chance.
Yeah.
I loved that.
That was a great way to put it.
Because it is so true.
It's a great way to put it.
So true. Because there's no real other sport that something that you've worked on so hard is just taken away from you. You know what I mean? Like there's very, very like
everything is so uniform in a lot of other sports.
In basketball, you don't show up to a different court and the rings are different size.
Yeah, correct.
Like you know what I mean? You don't show up and it's different length or something or different height or something like that. It's always the same. So why not try and do that? But even though there's no golf course the same, you're never playing on the same condition day. Greens are never the same speed.
There's so many extra variables in the sport of golf, such as conditions and courses and grass types and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
To then have an external condition, which is something external on your golf ball,
and there's
something foreign.
There's so much. There's more things in golf that you have no control of than you do.
Yeah.
Like once you've hit that golf ball,
good luck.
That's it.
Good luck.
That's it. It's up to everything else.
Yeah.
Right. And that's basically on the back of what Scotty was saying and what I believe in as well, and what you sounds like you do as well.
Yep.
Is why do I have to still have zero control going into hit it before I've even hit the ball?
Correct.
I now have no control.
Correct.
Why should I get penalised for if it's in the rough? Well, if you hit it in the rough, there's going to be shit in the rough. No, it doesn't matter what sort of golf course it is, right? And you're still going to hit probably grass before ball anyway. So there's going to be shit elements to affect the ball flight. But on the fairway, why should something affect the ball flight when it literally you could hit the perfect golf shot and it goes 40 right of your target?
And the simplest way to try and fix it, you want to talk about logistics and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go into this because I could go forever.
Yeah.
The simplest way to do it is at the majors, you have 18 rules officials, 1 per hole.
Oh, easier said than done. But yeah, I understand.
How many rules officials would the PGA Tour have?
Enough. I don't know.
Correct.
I couldn't tell you.
Right. And it's all based on whatever. So if you've got, and they're all probably volunteers and whatever else, right? But if the PGA Tour really wanted to do something about it and they knew, like Quail Hollow, this is going to be, the rain is horrible, the weather's shit, we're going to need rules officials. Great. Find your best ones from around the country, fly them out, put them up in a hotel, all complimentary, right? And go, your hole's the 16th today, Joe. Go. These are the rules that we're following today.
Yeah.
Go.
So
and you just drive. Here's your cart. You drive up and down 16 all day long, and if anyone's got a query, you're there.
Don't hate it. The only dispute I have to that is the consistency side of things.
Because fair enough.
I couldn't tell you how many officials would be at a tour event. I'm not actually sure. I generally see the same official in a couple clips.
But we talk, correct. But you talk about it like all the time. Oh, pace of play and all this kind of stuff, and we're waiting for a rules official. So there's a 10-minute wait. Why?
Yeah.
There's no other sport in the world where the referee takes 10 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You hear a whistle in a footy game, and then 10 minutes later, the umpire goes, holding the ball.
Yeah. I kind of get what you're saying.
So, more is sometimes better in this case. And if there's going to be a meeting anyway of all the rules officials before the round going, this is where instead of watching 3 holes, or 4 holes, or 6 holes, or 9 holes, you only watch 1. You get 16 today. Tomorrow you're going to get 5, whatever it might be. And you just rotate it around and everyone gets a different hole every day. Yeah. But there's 18 out there. So that as soon as there's an issue, bang, especially in those conditions where if you're going to bring in a rule like that, as soon as there's an issue, bang, someone's there. Minutes.
Yeah.
Not even minutes, seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seconds.
I don't mind the idea side of things. I don't mind it. It's obviously easier said than done. And there's other things, definitely other elements. Like there is official tour rules officials that
of course.
aren't just, volunteers, but they could be. But
I don't know how
that
it works.
that are renowned for giving rulings and stuff like that. The Shane Lowry one's a bizarre one. That was
as much as I want to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. It's upset me that much.
That's a bizarre one. There has to be
something else.
There has to be
something else that we're not seeing.
Factor that they've explained that we don't. I don't know. I can
only imagine.
All I see is in the middle of the fairway and he's plugged.
Yeah.
He has an embedded ball in the middle of the fairway and he had to hit it, which I've never seen before.
He unfortunately has copped the wrong side of what seems to be a technicality.
Whatever it might be.
That's the only way I can explain it, is that someone's turned around and gone, well, technically, and your ball doesn't apply to this rule. Why? Well, technically, X, Y, Z reasons.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden he's chunked one out of it.
Well,
couldn't even. What do you do?
You can't hit it.
What do you do? You can't hit it, and then gone and just absolutely torn up a 3-meter piece of freaking Quail Hollow. And to be honest, if that was me, I would have just kept walking. I would have kept walking. I wouldn't have even gone back to try and fix it. I would have just left it there and kept walking.
I'd love to know. I'd love to understand why that decision was made, because he's looking at it going, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you serious? It's like Matt Fitzpatrick when he cracked his driver.
Yeah.
And they're like, my fingernail's getting stuck on it. And they're like, it's not enough damage. And he goes, but you just said damage.
Yeah.
You just said damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not enough damage. And he goes, but you just said damage.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. And
the rule is if there is damage, and he's just gone, yeah, but what's enough?
It's
damage?
Unusable. Yeah.
What's a divot in the fairway?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. What's enough damage? Speaking of damage, Toby's put another dint in another driver head today.
That was incredible. That's just
and you could
when you're swinging at those speeds. There was the weird one was on 12 when he hit it. We're like, it flew good. It was fine, and it just sounded a bit. Well, like maybe it echoed through the trees, but me and you said, well, that sounded a bit funny.
Yeah,
it sounded a bit sort of.
And it sounds different anyway.
Oh,
because he hits it like a monster.
Yeah, with driving 3 wood, it's a different sound anyway. Exactly when you're swinging at 130.
Yeah,
like, of course it sounds different. But then on 14, we're like. He actually, the second he hit it, he looked at the face straight away going, I smoked that.
Yeah.
And it's flown 240.
Yeah.
And he flies 240 with 2-iron.
And then sure enough, we're rubbing our fingers over it and you could genuinely feel like a little indentation in the
tiniest.
face.
And then the more he hit it, I think we're standing on
16
it was. And he goes, can you see it? And he like put it on the side and it was this slight tinge and I could just see the tiniest hairline crack that makes a world of difference. He goes, I'm just going to have to hit it low on the face today, which he kind of did. He did well, but he's cracked another driver.
But yeah, so like, look, that one with Shane, he's been in the news a little bit as well, and it's the last thing we're going to talk about in terms of pro golf today. Saying that pro golfers should have a cool-off period after their round before they face the media. I could not agree more.
Love it. Love
right?
that.
You look at other sports, and we reflect on AFL football a lot in this podcast because it's the local sport, and it's our favourite, right? Aside from golf. Coaches or players, players cop it a little bit hard. They're getting interviewed on the ground after a game.
Yeah, bang.
Right?
They're still catching their breath.
Generally, it's the winners.
They're still catching their breath.
Generally, the winners... get interviewed, and if someone's kicked 5, they get an interview and all that kind of stuff. So it's all the positive things.
Yeah.
But let's say the losing coach, Michael Voss, for example, right? Losing a lot. Gets done by 50 points or whatever. He's got half an hour to an hour between when the final siren goes, he gets to go into the rooms, take the boys into the meeting room, have a meeting, have a chat to the president, have a chat to his wife and whoever else for half an hour, and then he goes in and does a presser.
Once their formalities are done.
Correct.
Yes, I agree.
Shane Lowry walks straight off the 18th green, goes and signs his card, and he's straight in front of the media.
Yeah, that's the last
and we're talking about minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when things don't go your way, we've all been there.
It's the last thing you want.
You do not want it. The last thing I want to do is speak to anyone about how shit my golf is. Right? It's gotten to the point where my fiance has stopped asking me how it was golf. She doesn't ask me until I get home.
Yeah.
Because I've had half an hour to cool off. And it's probably for the best.
Yeah. Whether it's good or bad.
I'll ring her regardless in the car and go, hey, I'm on my way home. And she can tell in my voice if I've had a good or bad day. So if I sound sprightly and all, happy and all that kind of stuff, she goes, how's golf? And I'm like, good. Had 33 points and I should have had 27. Right? But if I go, hey, I'm on my way home, I'll be there soon. Do you want lunch? Cool, no worries. See ya.
Yeah.
She knows. Don't ask him until he gets home.
Just give it once the tone improves. Yeah. Well, did you see that little dig that reporter made? I think it was about Rory.
No.
Like I think they were interviewing Bryson or something like that, going, I'm glad someone made the time to come talk to us because Rory brushed him off a couple of times.
Oh.
Right? Which
Rory didn't do a single interview the whole tournament.
Which to
Did
that
a single
reporter,
press conference.
how's fuck off sound?
Yeah.
How's fuck off sound?
Yeah.
He's the last thing he wants to do, or anyone would want to do after maybe not producing the event you want or playing as good as you like, is to speak to you about the shit, which is exactly what compliments
100%.
you. How's fuck off sound? Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Speak to him later.
Yeah.
Or don't.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So I completely agree. There should be a cool off period. I mentioned before, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I mentioned before that I wanted to say something about Cam Davis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, what was that?
After round one, he was tied for second at 5 under. Jonathan Vega shot 7 under. He was 5 under.
Yeah.
I didn't see much of round one, but I saw the leaderboard. I'm like, oh, fuck, awesome. Cam Davis. I want to go see his highlights. I go to the YouTube channel for the PGA Championship, and there's a 5-minute highlight package clip of Cam Davis. He teed off bare early in the morning. No one was on the golf course. I can understand why. Two things that I got really pissy about. His highlights package started when he was 2 under par already. It's like 6 holes in.
Yeah.
So I only really saw 12 holes of golf.
Yeah.
Highlights.
Yeah.
Right? The second thing that pissed me off is, right, and just listen to me before you say anything. Rory McIlroy shot 3 over par in the first round. Every single shot that he hit was in that highlights package. 10.5 minutes long. I get that he's just won the Masters and he's won the career Grand Slam, but regardless, you're looking at someone who's tied for second, and I'm a little bit pissy because he's an Aussie too, right? But he cops a 5.5 minute highlight package of half his round of golf. Rory McIlroy shoots 3 over. Nobody else who shot 3 over got a highlight package. And he cops a 10.5 minute long video. I get that it's Rory. But it ground my gears a little bit, and I've got every right to be a little bit pissy because I'm like, I want to see the good golf, and just because it's Rory and he plays shit golf doesn't mean I want to see it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
It's kind of that justice for the good scores.
I understand.
Because the bloke who he was tied with, when I looked at it at the time, it was like 12 o'clock on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, Gerard, I think his name was.
At that time, when I looked at the highlights, did not have a highlights package video on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, so...
At all.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, just because, and I get it, I've said it a time, it's Rory McIlroy. Of course he's going to get a fucking highlights package for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, show us the good golf. Just because he's Rory and he shoots 3 over, I don't care. Like, that's me, but a lot of people would because it's Rory and whatever.
No, I don't disagree with you at all.
Justice for the good golf, justice for the Aussies. With you.
I'd love to see a bit more, of like how do you do that?
Yeah.
Like, did Jonathan Vegas have a highlight reel of his round?
Yep.
He did? Okay. I didn't see
Might have been 7 or 8 minutes long.
No idea. But
it was literally double the length.
Yeah.
And I watched both videos, and it was every shot from his first tee to his last putt. And I'm just like, fuck's sake, Cam Davis, and that's what pissed me off the most. They go, all right, Cam Davis, first shot that he's hitting, the commentators go, he's on 7, and I'm like, what? He's already 2 under par. I'm like, what? I want to see the first 2 birdies. What's going on here? Anyway, I'm just nitpicking, and it's just. These are the things, and again, it's Aussies. Like I want to see the Aussies do well.
I don't disagree at all. I think that's a good point. It's like, you'd love to see how he shot 5, and I don't not want to watch Rory having 3 over.
Course.
He's human, awesome, like great. He's shot over par, pisser.
Yeah,
right. But I'd love to see Cam, or at least see some good golf from guys that
don't get the attention.
Don't
normally.
generally get the attention because they don't produce the attention sometimes.
But it just goes to show that just because they're not showing, and they're not getting the attention, they're not gonna be given it because they shoot a good score.
Yeah.
If you don't generate attention on your own, like consistently, you're not going to just get it out of nowhere because you had 5 under.
Well, that's kind of what's happened there.
Yeah, that's what is pissy because
Rory's
Cam Davis is a PGA Tour winner. This is the PGA Championship run by the same group.
Yeah.
Fucking show his highlights.
Yeah, it's kind of like Rory's earned the right to have his 3 over par.
Yeah,
like every shot.
I would have loved to have known if he'd shot 7 over if they'd showed the highlights package. 3 over, you go, all right, he's just had 3 over. Like, well, it's not great.
He's missed a couple.
He's 11 off the lead, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh well.
If he had 7 over and or
stunk it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what happens then?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just something that ground my gears. Now, questions from the second cut. Let's rattle through this nice and quick, Jolly, because I think we've gone a little bit longer than we would have liked. We hope you enjoyed our little recap of the PGA Championship and pro golf in general.
Yep.
More to come, obviously. We've got the US Open at Oakmont very soon. I'm so excited. I love Oakmont. I fucking love Oakmont. I just love majors. It's so good. My question for you, right? You've done a lot of traveling in the last little while to WA, and you got Queensland coming up and all that kind of stuff. How badly does the stress creep in when you're flying to these destinations and traveling with golf clubs that something might happen to the golf clubs?
Oh, there is. So I'm better. I'm 10 times better now because
you've done it.
I've done it I've done it a lot.
Right.
More than the average person traveling with golf clubs.
Yep.
So compared to what we heard with how much Toby flies, to make an example, I don't want to name drop, but to make an example, he expressed how many flights he's got coming up and how much he's already done. I'm like, whoa, right? But not the point. How nervous am I? There always is whenever I see that coming out of oversized baggage, I do open it up. And I do protect the clubs quite well with towels and pillows and shoes and stuff like that. So they would have to run it over with the plane for something to go wrong. Right? So, and I do a little test. I do put couple little knickknacks, like little stickers or something on the sides. Okay. And if the stickers are still there, I know it's been handled well.
Okay.
It hasn't been rubbing up against anything. They're not flipping it upside down and there's no scratches or anything like that. So I do these little tests before I've even opened up the bag.
Right.
If the stickers are still there, already positive. Already. Yep. If the stickers aren't, I open straight up, test shafts, see shafts if there's any cracks or there's nothing snapped or anything like that. And first couple of times, well, because I did have one instance where I did fly up to Queensland and I did pull out driver and that's broken. Yeah. So there was that little bit of tiny percent doubt in my head. Mm-hmm. But the last however many times I've done it, no. Yeah, the airlines are really good.
No,
as much as you sometimes see online, I see a couple of like American flights and you see guys going whee, like and just you see these clubs just flying through the air and stuff like that. But like I said, still percent of like, but
there's a little bit of doubt.
There's percent of doubt now. Going. I just hope nothing's damaged, and now it never is. No.
We discussed it a little bit when talking about Barnbougle and the trip up there.
Spiraled.
I was gone. Right. And again, we get to Tassie to Launceston, and I'm just like sitting at the oversized baggage, just like rocking side to side. I'm like, where's the clubs? 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 Yeah. And I run over, right? And then the first package comes out. I'm like, fuck, it's not mine. Second one comes out. I'm like, that's mine. Go. Right. Just grabbed it. And then Mark's was third. And I was like, ha, suckers, fuck off. Yeah. Right. There's like 8 other blokes waiting for golf clubs. Yeah. And just the way some people travel with their golf clubs, some bloke just literally wrapped all these shafts up in tape, right? And just threw the golf bag out there. Oh. Like put the rain hood on it and just like taped it all up and was just like, man. And I'm like,
faith, man.
Yeah, he just had so much, and it was like
I couldn't do that.
It was an ancient golf bag, an ancient set of clubs, and the bloke was, probably pushing on. It's
probably stronger than all of our shit.
Yeah, correct. So, very good.
No, it's for anyone that hasn't travelled or is about to travel or doesn't travel often, get a good travel cover, and like I said, I still take driver 3-wood and 2-iron out with anything with a graphite shaft. Put it down the side. What?
Keep going.
And I wrap it up in towels.
Yeah.
And make sure if I'm putting clothes in this travel bag, I do circle it just because, for peace of mind. And I still put something over the bag and secure the bag, just so it's as secure as possible. But
if
otherwise, there's a lot has to go wrong for your clubs to be damaged.
If you are traveling soon, like on a plane with your golf clubs, maybe don't put your driver and 3-wood head in your carry-on, because we did, me and Mark, when we flew to Boogles. Yeah, I was just like, fuck it, like I'm taking them off. I was like, sorry,
you put it in your golf bag.
No. In my I had a carry-on luggage bag, like a duffel bag with all my clothes in it for the 2 days.
You're on drugs.
And I took the head covers off and I just jammed them in there with the head, like the driver head and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, I go through security and put the thing through the X-ray machine, and then all of a sudden, beep, beep, right? And they're just like, and she's just like, where are you traveling to? I'm like, Tassie. She's like, you playing golf? I'm like, yeah. She's like, don't put your fucking golf heads in. Don't put your heads in your carry-on. I'm like, why? She's like, it looks like bombs, you idiot.
It looks like grenades.
Yeah. And I'm just, and I told Mark to do the same thing, and he goes, ding. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Anyway, so yeah, we got pulled aside, and they questioned us about like what's in our bags, like our carry-on luggage. And I'm like, golf clubs. And they're just like, oh. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah.
So next thing is just shove it.
Because on the monitor, it doesn't come up with Titleist TSR.
No.
It comes up with this round black thing at the bottom of a bag. Like, it doesn't look good, dude.
And like, I had even put it on top, and I just said, you're welcome to open it and have a look. And she's just like, and it's in the head cover, like in that head cover, and she's like, all right.
So actually, literally on that, on my in my big travel bag where my clubs were, just the flight coming back. I was in Perth, and I've put it on the oversized, no issues. But before I got there, I was like literally a kilo over.
Oh.
And I looked at the lady. I'm like, really, a kilo? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you serious? And she goes, I can't scan it. I'm sorry. Whether she's new or not, I don't care. I'm like, a kilo? Are you kidding me? Right. Anyway, so I'm like, don't worry. So I go down, I had a little bag of balls. Like when I say little bag, it was probably 20, 25 balls or something like that, which would be a couple of kilos in itself, I would assume, right? So I'm like, all right, fair enough. So I took that out and just put it in my backpack, right? And then put that through the same thing, through security. And same thing, it didn't flash, but it just went over the other side where where they quickly scan it. I'm looking at it going, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like,
what's wrong?
What did I put in there? I've got a laptop, a couple chargers, and a bag of barbecue chips.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. And I'm like, and I put the balls in there. I'm thinking, what the? And I'm like, maybe a bit of metal, maybe my keys at the bottom or something like that. Right. And he goes, can I? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, it's 11:30 at night. Just open the fucking bag.
Yeah.
Right. And he pulls the thing out, and he's like, looks at me, and I've like tapped my head because I had a Titleist hat on.
Yeah.
So I've just gone, and he goes, oh, golf. Just goes, and puts it back in. I'm like, right. And he goes, all right, all good. And I was like, it was just a bit bizarre.
Yeah. So airport security isn't as stressful as it once was, but like they're not going to let you get away with certain things.
No.
But I think if you can explain yourself, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Do you have a question for me, Jolly?
Yes, I do. So, do you think Scotty Scheffler will be the next career Grand Slam winner?
Yes.
You reckon?
Comfortably.
Even with having to win two more, and there's only two other guys that need to win one.
Who are the other two that only need to win one?
I think it's Phil and Jay. No, it's not JT, is it?
Brooks.
Is it Brooks? No, Brooks needs to win two. He's won 5, but 3 PGAs, 2 US.
Yeah, true. Phil's not.
I can't say Phil doing it.
Same. I don't think it's JT either.
Sure.
Spieth. Is it Spieth? Spieth.
Might have been Spieth.
Spieth.
Is it Spiethy?
I think it's Spieth.
Do you reckon Scotty?
He's won a Masters, he's won a Open, and he's won a US or PGA maybe. I think he needs to win the US Open. Spieth. I think it could be Spieth. Yes. Yeah, I do think Scotty Scheffler is the next golfer to win career Grand Slam.
Yep. If it did, but yeah, Jordan Spieth. Yeah.
Jordan Spieth. Yeah. I don't see Phil or Spieth doing it anytime soon.
So do you reckon? Yeah. Okay. My question is the closest person to it. If you get rid of
the
Phil,
race is on.
I don't think Phil will get it done. I think he's past his not saying he's past the span of good golf.
He won a major at the age of 50.
Exactly. So. He won a PGA in 2020. Was it 2022?
Yep. Kiwa.
Was that 2022?
I think so.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Hold on. We apologize for this.
I'm pretty sure it was 2020.
Maybe 2021. No, that was Southern Hills. I think it was 2021. Yep. 2021, Kiowa.
It was 2021, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, so if we exclude Phil, which I don't like doing, but I can't see that. So out of Jordan Spieth, John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, Brooks.
John Rahm.
Yep. Because they have 2 left. So Brooks has 2.
Okay. Yeah.
John Rahm has 2. Xander has 2 left. Jordan Spieth has 1, and Scotty Scheffler has 2 left.
Xander Schauffele is the biggest threat.
Yeah, you reckon? Yeah.
To Scotty doing it.
Well, John Rahm had a great week this week.
John Rahm did.
Even though he went for
completely against.
He went for glory in the last probably 3 holes, or when I say 3.
And it's completely against the grain for what he's been producing in the last sort of year and a half. Yeah, Scotty Scheffler, I think is definitely going to be the next. You can't not think it's going to be.
Yeah.
You can't deny it.
Yeah.
He's the most informed golfer probably of the last 10 years that we've seen, and I just don't. I think he tears Oakmont apart.
You reckon?
I really do. Like, I think he's just going to hit every fairway, and he can't. How could he not? Like, he's hitting it as good as he is, and granted, plays not the greatest golf at the PGA, but just made the most of the scenarios he was in. Played tactically great golf and wins. Yeah, if he can do the same thing at Oakmont.
He had a great third round.
Yeah,
great third round. Sort of cruised to. I think what he shoot. I think he was. He wasn't the worst golf. He was 6 under through the first 2 rounds, wasn't he?
I think he shot even on the last day.
He shot, it was something like that. Even one over or something.
Look, yeah, it's hard to knock him.
You can't go.
It's hard to knock him.
Really.
Xander's the biggest threat. I'd love to see Brooks get there. We've spoken plenty about my love for Brooks Koepka. Xander, John Rahm's fantastic. I think those 3 names, right? Scotty, yeah, he'll do it. Xander, Rahm, and Koepka, I think all have the potential to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that
they still let's just say they still have time.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're all still very young.
Absolutely. So I think that by the time their careers are finished, Xander, I think as well, might be stiff if he doesn't do it. Do you know what I mean? I think he's got the most potential. Scotty's great. He's phenomenal. But if you're talking about potential, I think Xander's the next big thing.
Well, when you talk about there's only 4 out of 6 career Grand Slam winners that all of golf ever are alive.
Morikawa could do it.
You reckon?
Yeah. I think he's just in a bit of a bad... I don't think he's a bad player.
I don't think he's long enough to win at Augusta. As good of a golf he plays.
Okay.
That's just based off what I've heard for one and some of the stats.
But even you're talking about guys like Victor Hovland. If he gets one, the floodgates could open.
Never know.
You might just like Morikawa and Spieth, one might turn into 2, possibly 3.
You never know.
So
still got to get the ball in the hole.
This sport is in the strongest position it's been in, I reckon, for a long time. Since the big cat was around as well.
Yeah,
full time as well.
Yeah.
So it's endless possibilities.
With Scotty and Rory, it's almost like a Tiger Phil battle.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah,
almost in the modern era.
Yep.
Rather than
for a long time, it was Rory and Brooks. That was the battle. Who gets to 5 first, and then who does the slam first. And now Brooks has gone to live, and it's he's put on 30 pounds and he's huge and whatever else, and just not playing that good of golf. It's
just not in the spotlight as well. It's like when you say John Rahm hasn't done much in 18 months. He's the best based off scoring average. He's the best Live Tour player. Yeah, and he's won the most.
Yep.
But it's not in the spotlight
for someone who doesn't watch Live and only gets to watch John Rahm 5 times a year because I tune into Adelaide.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, true.
I only see him 5 times a year, maybe 6 if it's a Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup this year as well. Fuck me. At Bethpage Black as well.
This guy.
So good. There's going to be bonus episodes about the Ryder Cup as well, ladies and gents. But anyway, let's wrap it up there, Jolly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into this week's episode of the Gold Jacket, Green Jacket podcast. We hope you've thoroughly enjoyed it. Head over, please, to the Spotify. Follow us there. Leave a 5-star review if you could. Spotify's killing it at the moment.
Is it?
Doing really well.
Good.
We love our Spotify audience. Keep it going. Thank you very much. If you're listening on Spotify and you want to watch for a change, head over to YouTube, subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. Does us wonders.
We're not that.
Drop us a like as well and give us a comment. Let us know how shit I am. So, otherwise, head over to Instagram and TikTok. Check out some videos over there. Going to try and upload some more TikToks soon over the next few weeks. I think it's not going to be too difficult. So I think we can get it done. And yeah, thank you again for all your support. We look forward to speaking to you next week. Hit them well. Enjoy your golf. Cheers.